So there are five big drivers that help explain what's going on in the U.S. and global economies. Another big driver for most of our lifetime of economic developments has been globalization. When most companies I talk to think about their sourcing and even about their workforce, they think globally now. Many jobs that they used to think we had to do here in the United States, they now say, gee, we can place some of those jobs other parts of the world. And also in terms of sourcing, they think more globally about their supply chains. You know, Ford calls their, what we think of as manufacturing plants around the country, they call them assembly plants. There's a reason for that. Much of the content that goes into that assembly plant touches somewhere else in the world before it gets to that assembly plant to assemble the final car. Globalization, by and large, has been a helpful thing for companies in managing their costs and in managing their workforce. It has not been, though, such a great thing in many locations in the United States. It has been the reason why many small towns and cities in the United States have deteriorated, because they had a big operating plant that they grew up, maybe textiles, maybe it was automotive related, and that plant is no longer globally competitive, and it wound up in effect getting offshored to somewhere else in the world that was more competitive, but it really had a negative effect on that town. And the workers in that town did not have a lot of viable alternatives for work. And it's not so easy to move 500 or 1,000 miles to get a new job, and so we found a lot of economic hardship locally. So I always said globalization is good on a macro basis, but it can really be challenging locally, and we have not done a great job in the United States helping local workers and local towns adjust to globalization. Roll forward to today, what we're finding, particularly in the last number of years, is some of the globalization trends have slowed. Geopolitical issues have sort of put sand in the gears of globalization and changed the mindset of many executives I talk with about globalization. They used to think just in time in terms of inventory and lower cost in terms of workers, and now they realize that maybe having, as they call it, just in case inventory and workforce availability is more valuable. In other words, they're willing to pay more to have ready source of supply that's here as opposed to overseas. Businesses are now willing to pay more to have ready access to certain types of supply, but it raises their costs and also incentivizes them to raise their prices. If you're going to do just-in-case inventory and you combine that with technology-enabled disruption and the need for more investment in technology, it means small businesses really struggle with how to compete because they don't have the scale either to invest in technology or to deal with some of these deglobalization trends. And that's why I think we're seeing a lot of the merger activity and consolidation activity and need for scale that is going on to sort of deal with some of these trends. It also helps explain why we seem to have more worker shortages in the United States and struggle to fill positions. And I think deglobalization is one of the reasons for that. One of many, but one of the reasons for that.
To learn about the 5 structural drivers of the global economy, continue watching our clips on the Robert Stephen Kaplan YouTube channel or visit robertstephenkaplan.com.